in the attendees list and want to be promoted, please just send a message in the chat, and you'll have to accept an invitation.
Great, thank you. All right, it's 6:36. We do not have a quorum yet, but I think we'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully we will have a quorum develop as we go here. Good evening, everyone. I'm Eric McClure. I am the co-chair of the Community Board 6 Transportation Committee, the chair of the Public Safety Committee. We are a joint committee. Jerry Armour is here as well. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. The agenda tonight is a presentation by the New York City Department of Transportation on proposed street network changes to Columbia Street from Huntington Street to LeCure Street and Hicks Street from Hamilton Avenue to Nelson Street. As is in keeping with how we operate as a committee, once the presentation is concluded, we'll take questions and answers. We'll start with members of the committee and members of the public who would like to ask questions. At that point, please raise your hand in the chat or send a message and we'll promote you to panelists so you can ask your question or make your comment and participate in the discussion. So thanks again, everyone, for being here. Emily, I guess I will kick it over to you and you can introduce people and introduce the proposed agenda item.
Yeah, so I'm just here supporting Nina Heyman. She's the director of school safety, and again, Claudette is on the phone as well, so I'm just going to hand it over to her.
Great, Nina, welcome, and take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me tonight. As Emily said, I'm the director of school safety at DOT, so my group is responsible for redesigning streets near schools to make them safe. And we actually came to you back in 2018 about a project we were doing or proposing to do on Columbia by like Delavan and Nelson. You were supportive, we appreciated it, went in 2019 and has been successful. Okay, wait, sorry, I can't do two things at once. I'm just gonna share my screen, hold on. I can't talk while I do it. Okay. Okay, so can folks see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So this is an after picture, the project we did here at sort of where Columbia, Nelson, Delavan, Dwight all come together. It was asphalt art, kind of intersection normalization, and the kids are walking to the school, which is right behind me. But so over the last few years, DDC has been developing, this explains Vision Zero, but I think you all are familiar with Vision Zero. DDC has been working on this, planning out this large capital project to reconstruct and resurface a lot of roadways shown in blue here. And so since my team had done that project that I just showed, we were sort of taking a look at it and realized this was a chance for us to have a few additional things done that we were unable to do when we did our work. So I'm really just here to get your feedback on that. So one thing we're asking for, actually I should go back a second, is to have the work that we did in paint built out in concrete. You know, the art is beautiful, but you know, we like concrete. So to have that built out to just make that intersection less gigantic. As you can see, it's a lot of asphalt space for vehicles right by a school, which we're not fond of. And the other thing though, the main reason I'm here tonight is to have some one-way conversions on 2 streets, which I'll show you. So I'm flipping around. These 2 things in red.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is Columbia Street right here. It's currently 2 ways, 36 feet wide. This is it. One moving lane each direction, a lot of industrial land use, a lot of trucks. There's our project I mentioned. So our proposal is to make it one way just for these 2 blocks here, shown in red. And what that would do is sort of improve the visibility and sort of, you know, for pedestrians at the location, and also kind of reduce the amount of vehicular movements going through this intersection, which we think would be helpful, especially given the size of the trucks traveling through there, given the industrial neighborhood. building out our painted art space. And then also with this little extra bit of space, we'll be able to put in a standard bike lane just for this little bit here. You know, there's a bike lane immediately south, but it peters out. So this would allow us to extend it 2 more blocks up to get it, you know, to bring it right up to the school. That's really kind of the summary. I'm happy to take questions now or at the end. I'll keep going. Here's the Hicks one. So just to show everybody on a map again, really quick. Just this one here. Just like a block and a half, basically. Or a block, I should say, sorry, and this little tiny thing here. This is Hicks Street. It's 2-way, well, it's been 1 way because of construction for a long time, but that's sort of a, you know, quote unquote temporary condition. It's formerly a 2-way street, and we'd like to keep the 1-way conversion that was done for construction. So, you know, it's really, you know, 30 feet for a 2-way street, especially in a neighborhood with a lot of trucks, is kind of a lot. So our proposal is to make it 1-way southbound here. Just for that one little tiny block and a half area. Again, this sort of improves vehicular circulation, reduces side swipes on a narrow street, and it reduces turning conflicts. And then we could put the parking back with a 1-way conversion. And that's it. I'm happy to take questions.
Great. Thank you very much.
you.
I will turn to my colleagues. If you have questions, want to use the raised hand function, that would be ideal so I can recognize you. Jerry?
I have to unmute myself. I'm rather, actually, this kind of makes sense. When they said 1-way conversion, I was trying to figure out which way you would go. My first thought was, why don't we put a traffic signal in this location? And I realized it wouldn't work. So I think that actually the 1 block southbound on Hicks Street actually makes sense. You'll get the trucks where they have to go off Hamilton, and if they have to make any local deliveries. So actually, it's not a question, it's more like a comment. Looks good.
Anybody else, committee member? Okay, Joanna and then Doug.
Hi, good evening. I'm curious about, there was one little line about replacing some parking. And I was curious how many spots that is and whether we really need to replace it or whether we might find another use for that space if it's already been temporarily liberated.
Sorry, it would be just this, you can still see my screen, yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It would just be this little bit here. So that's probably what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 spots maybe. At taking away anything that's not there for fire hydrants, and the like. Yeah, and if that's a request from the community board, we could certainly look at it. I mean, it's
just what I would throw out is just especially to daylight the corner spot, given that a lot of kids are using the intersection, that would be great if we can pull that off. Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, I would concur that near the school, some daylighting would be helpful there. Doug?
Just a question. So if Hicks is currently 30 feet wide 2-way, and Nelson, I forget exactly how much you said, when you convert it to 1-way and add back in the parking and perhaps add a class 2 bike lane, what kind of street width would, for that short little bit, what kind of street width would that now be?
Oh, wait, sorry, I think I might have spoken too quickly. We'd be adding the parking back on this bit of Hicks, but we'd be adding the bike lane on Columbia.
Right.
Yeah. So the bike lane goes here.
Yeah.
Which is on Columbia, which is 36 wide. You can kind of see a plan view of it here.
Right.
two-way here, so we'd be having sort of a, sorry, I don't have the dimension, but the whole streets.
Well, I guess assume the parking lane is 10 or 11 feet wide. The bike lane is,
I think the parking probably be 8, and
Yeah.
I think the parking lane's 8, the bike lane's 5, so.
so I mean, even with the trucks, you'd still have like a very, very wide street for,
Mhm.
you know, and I understand that it's only a couple of blocks, but like, if you've got a school there, a street that wide and trucks going one, you know, that's not the greatest recipe. So, I mean, I wonder if there could be not just daylighting, but painted curb extensions, you know, at those
Oh,
spots.
sorry, this is a concrete curb extension that you
So
see
that's
here.
concrete on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is all new concrete as well. And
Right.
this island, sorry, I should have emphasized this more. This is the faint line is the existing concrete, and this darker line is the new concrete.
Oh,
That's
okay,
new
great.
concrete. That's
Okay.
new concrete. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
I
I
thought
kind of
you were
brushed
only
past
talking
that.
about building out that one little spot in blue, but yeah, no, okay, that's great.
Yeah. No, we're on the same page. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Thank you. It looks good.
Jerry, do you have your hand back up?
Well, I was about to make a motion. I'm just looking to see if anyone has their hands up.
Yeah, I don't see any other hands. Any of our public attendees? Anybody have a question or a comment? Don't see any hands. So Jerry, go ahead.
Recommend or support, whichever is the proper term in this case, support the reconstruction of Columbia Street as described with the islands, with the curb extension, I'm not sure what to call it, the semicircle curb extension, the triangle curb extension, and the conversion of the one block of Hicks Street to one-way southbound.
I'll
That's
give
the
that a
motion.
second. I'll second the motion.
All right, there's a motion on the floor. Any discussion among the committee on the motion? All right, hearing none, I will call the question. All in favor of Jerry's motion, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes unanimously. It's a recommendation. Since we're short of a quorum, it will go to the full board for a vote at the next meeting. It will need a motion there. But Nina, there's a request in the chat to post a link to the presentation. If you guys could do that, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll send the presentation to the board tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry, was
Michelle-
the vote on the one-way conversions as well?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah. Michelle, DOT will send us the presentation tomorrow. We'll make sure that we send it out. Mike will send it out with his email in the evening, or you can. Great. Thank you. All right. Well, that was what it might be the record for fastest Community Board 6 Transportation and Public Safety Committee meeting. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. Thanks, DOT, for bringing this to us. And we will see you again next month if somebody gives me a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Because, Eric, it's because you and Jerry run a very tight meeting as co-chairs. So good job.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Bob.
thanks, everyone. Enjoy your evening.
Thanks so
You
much.
too.
Evan,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Thanks for
Bye,
running the
everybody.
tech, Evan.
Happy
Thanks, Nina.
Halloween.
Thank you, DOT.
Thanks.
Everybody have a blessed day, you guys.
You too, Joanne. Thank you. Thanks, Evan.
Anytime.
Yep, we're good to go.